Hello everyone, welcome to my update US gossip channel. Kody Brown had faced rumors for more than a decade, but nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared the Brown family or the sister wives' fandom for the avalanche of betrayal, chaos, and scandal that exploded the moment the words "Kody and Robyn caught cheating" hit social media like a nuclear shockwave, unleashing accusations, leaked documents, tearful confrontations, and a property embezzlement scheme that not even the most seasoned TLC producers could have imagined, and it all began one strangely quiet afternoon when Janelle received an anonymous message containing a single cryptic sentence: "Check the safe at Coyote Pass before it's too late," a message she tried to ignore until her intuition refused to stay silent, prompting her to call Meri, who immediately sensed something was off because when it came to Kody and shady paperwork, they had learned the hard way that turning a blind eye only meant losing more ground, more money, and more emotional stability, so the two former sister wives made a pact to meet at the dusty desert property one last time, even though both believed they were finally free of its burdens, and as they arrived at the old trailer Kody once swore would be temporary, yet somehow sat there decaying year after year, they noticed something strange: lights on inside, footsteps, rustling, whispers, and then the unmistakable silhouette of Robyn pacing back and forth, clutching a folder filled with documents she kept glancing at nervously while Kody argued with someone on speakerphone, demanding that "those papers can't be traced back to us," a phrase that immediately made Janelle and Meri freeze in place, realizing they were witnessing something they were never meant to hear. But the real shock came moments later when Kody slammed his phone onto the counter and hissed at Robyn, "If anyone finds out about this diversion scheme, we're done, legally, financially, everything," leaving Robyn trembling as she whispered that maybe it was time to come clean, but Kody snapped that confessing would ruin the whole plan, and that was the second Janelle stepped forward because the time for secrets was long over, and she pushed open the trailer door, startling both Kody and Robyn into dropping the entire folder, sending hundreds of papers scattering across the floor like snow, and when Meri picked one up, her breath caught as she read the header: "Reallocation and transfer of property assets. Coyote Pass parcels 1 to 5 inch, followed by signatures that looked suspiciously like hers and Janelle's but were clearly forged, and suddenly everything clicked: the talk of missing deeds, strange delays in parcel division, unexplained tax discrepancies, and Kody's constant insistence that things were complicated or being handled, and the truth was far uglier than either woman ever imagined, because the documents revealed that Kody and Robyn had been quietly trying to reroute ownership of the majority of the land into a private trust solely under their control, one with a misleading name that sounded like a family foundation but was actually designed to push Janelle and Meri out completely, while transferring future sale profits to an account linked only to Robyn's LLC, and the betrayal was so layered, so planned, so sinister that Meri felt her knees weaken, whispering, "You forged my signature? After everything?" After 30 years, while Janelle's face turned stone-cold fury as she slammed page after page onto the countertop, demanding how long Kody had been plotting this and whether the whole reason for insisting they stay tied to Coyote Pass was because he needed time to finalize the scheme, but before he could answer, his phone buzzed again, and to everyone's astonishment, the name on the caller ID appeared: "Our Observatory, back in trance," which triggered Meri instantly because she remembered hearing rumors months ago that Kody and Robyn had been meeting secretly at a remote cabin-style Airbnb near Sedona, supposedly discussing family business but reportedly seen entering separately only to leave hours later looking disheveled and frantic, rumors that they had both publicly denied with over-the-top outrage, even accusing the other wives of spreading lies just to make them look bad. But now the ring of that phone made the truth impossible to deny, and Kody lunged to silence it, shouting that everyone was overreacting and that relationships are complicated, which only made the room explode with tension, especially once Janelle found a second folder hidden beneath a blanket, this one containing financial statements showing unexplained withdrawals from the family account during the same months Kody was accusing her of not contributing enough, withdrawals that matched deposits into Robyn's personal business ledger labeled "consulting fees," even though Robyn had done no consulting work that year, and Meri whispered, "You've been siphoning money from us," while Kody stuttered excuses about streamlining assets and protecting the family brand, but the excuses collapsed the second Robyn broke down in tears, confessing that the plan spiraled way beyond what she ever intended and that she only went along with it because she truly believed Kody was going to lose everything after the divorces, and she thought helping him secretly restructure the property would save what was left. But the confession didn't erase the shock, nor did it undo the next revelation: a sealed manila envelope labeled "Private, Return Once Signed," which Janelle opened to discover correspondence between Kody and a realtor outlining a plan to sell off the parcels in small pieces to private investors without notifying any of the other owners. An arrangement that would be void if Janelle or Meri ever filed a legal claim, meaning the entire forged document scheme was meant not only to steal the property but also to silence any future objections, and the weight of that realization shattered the last remnants of trust either woman had for him, leading Meri to finally erupt in a way the audience had never quite seen, telling Kody that she stood by him through humiliation, neglect, spiritual divorce, and cold indifference, only to be rewarded with fraud, betrayal, and the final insult of discovering he had been sneaking around with Robyn under the guise of business meetings. And as she spoke, Robyn sobbed harder, trying to insist that the meetings were emotional, not physical, which only infuriated Janelle more, who shouted that cheating was cheating, financially, emotionally, or romantically, and that she was done playing the role of the silent ex-wife who carried the burden of Kody's mistakes. And what happened next unfolded so fast it felt scripted. Janelle took photos of every document on the floor, Meri gathered the forged papers, and the two walked out while Kody begged them to talk this through like adults, but they ignored him, heading straight to a notary and a legal office in Flagstaff, where everything was verified, stamped, and officially entered into a case file that would soon force Kody's entire scheme into the open. And the shocking part was that not only were the deeds forged, but the real, original property documents, which Kody claimed had been lost in the move, were actually in his truck, stuffed beneath piles of junk, still unfiled, proving he had intentionally prevented the rightful owners from completing the process years earlier. And when the lawyer handed the original documents to Janelle and Meri with the words "These belong to you," it felt like the universe handing back more than land. It was returning power, dignity, and closure. And as they left the office, social media exploded because someone, likely the same anonymous source who warned them, leaked the trailer confrontation footage, showing Kody yelling, "Robyn," crying, and papers flying. And within hours #Kody caught cheating and #property embezzler were trending worldwide, prompting TLC to issue a panicked statement claiming they did not authorize the release of any behind-the-scenes material, but confirming an internal review was underway. And fans were stunned, debating whether this was the scandal that would end the show entirely or ignite its most dramatic season yet, while Janelle and Meri sat back, exhausted but relieved, knowing that for once the truth was on their side. The documents were officially returned, their names were validated, and Kody Brown, once the patriarch who controlled everything, was facing consequences he couldn't charm, manipulate, or gaslight his way out of, marking the end of an era, the fall of a self-made kingdom, and the moment the Brown family story changed forever. But the chaos didn't stop there, because the moment the leaked footage hit the internet, everything Kody and Robyn had been hiding for years began unraveling at warp speed, exposing layers of secrets so tangled that even longtime fans struggled to believe how deeply the deception ran. And while Kody desperately tried to film a shaky, rambling video insisting that the footage was edited and that he'd never cheat, emotionally or financially, viewers instantly called out the inconsistencies, pointing out the timestamped documents scattered around him, the panicked tone in Robyn's voice, and the unmistakable moment his phone revealed the name of their secret meeting spot. And as his denials grew more frantic, Janelle and Meri quietly met with investigators who confirmed that not only were the signatures forged, but several of the property transfers had been initiated from an IP address linked to Robyn's home business office, further solidifying the case for intentional embezzlement. And when confronted, Robyn finally broke down, telling producers off-camera that she never wanted it to go this far and that she only participated because Kody convinced her the other wives were trying to destroy him financially and emotionally, a lie that shattered her already fragile reputation, leaving fans divided between pity and outrage, while Janelle and Meri found themselves at the center of an unexpected wave of support, with legal experts praising them for standing up against manipulation and fraud. And just when the dust seemed to settle, another bombshell dropped. An email surfaced from months earlier in which Kody begged a land developer to keep negotiations discreet, confirming beyond doubt that he had fully intended to sell Coyote Pass without notifying anyone, and with that final piece of evidence, the narrative shifted permanently, proving that the once unbreakable Brown family patriarch had orchestrated a betrayal so elaborate, so reckless, and so devastating that the aftershocks would echo far beyond the desert sands of Arizona, marking a turning point from which the family, and the franchise, might never fully recover.